here so soon. It's awesome. Let's go. Ande, where you at?
I'm right here, buddy.
You ready to dive deep into these Naughty Dog employees blast customers over not buying the game? You ready to talk
Let's
about
go.
that? You ready to talk about all this criticism?
Talk about these dogs. What's the problem with the dogs, man? I'm scared to kill. Everybody worried about killing a few dogs. What's up with that?
Where are you seeing those comments?
I've seen it on YouTube, man. People posting videos about these problem with the dogs.
If
You got a
that's
problem killing human, it's a game, man.
right, I mean, think about all the human, like the AI, the characters that you killed in video games,
Exactly.
and
Hey,
people
look,
are
you don't have to kill the dogs. You can
people,
still buy
yeah.
the dogs.
People
That's such a
are
big deal.
most frustrated about the dogs. I mean, I could see that dog, the man's best friend, and you're gonna just kill him.
Listen, if them dogs get in my way and starting alerting me, I'm popping a cap in them dogs, bro.
You're popping a cap in the dogs.
I will pop a cap in them dogs.
Oh my gosh. What do you think about that, True Flight?
I mean, like these dogs definitely sound like similar thing that happened in the first one. I mean, I just been playing the first one a couple of days ago, and I got on with this other dog. I tried to do something I probably shouldn't have done, but they did not die. So I think it'd be interesting if they have something new.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I can
dogs.
respect them putting a new element into the game and trying to like really make it like immersive, where the dogs have like owners, they have names, the dogs have names, and you know, if something happens to the dogs, the owner of the dog starts going crazy. Like I can kind of respect that, but
I just don't think it's a big deal enough for people to be crying about, making videos about. I mean, it's a game, dude. It's not like you're really killing a dog, you know?
right.
Damn, calm down, boys. It's a damn game.
Mhm.
Them dogs get in my way, boys, start alerting me. I'm popping, capping. I'm gonna throw a bomb at them, throw a molly. I'm getting through them dogs.
Especially if you're on a high difficulty, man. If you're like on some type of grounded with the dogs.
Exactly. Well, that'd be different. I may try to stealth then, but if them dogs alert on
What
me,
what if there's some type of stealth kill you can do on the dogs? What if,
oh, that would be nasty.
wouldn't that be brutal?
I definitely want to see some more play styles. I'm hoping
Hey everyone, it's Spray here. I just want
Well, from what I understand, you can modify your Ellie at the workbench to play to your particular play style. So if you play aggressive, you could probably modify her to be more aggressive, or you could modify her
No,
play
that's
style to
that
be,
don't make no sense. Modify
That's what
her personality at
modify
the.
your crafting ways to be more stealthy or more aggressive. The way I took it.
They said that. They said you could do that.
Yeah.
So just like enhance your abilities, not like
See,
modify.
you could. They said you could modify her to play to your play style.
Well, there's probably some things you can buy to like make her better at certain things, but I don't think you could be like, all right, I want her health to be up to this level, or like her stealth to
play
be
style,
her
not
stealth to
health.
be her stealth to be
Like
even
your play
stealthier.
style. Yeah, like if you want to use the silencers, if you want to, I mean, I'm not sure because I haven't seen everything to do with it, but I definitely 100% watched a video where they were talking about using the upgrade table to modify the way the play style you play with Ellie.
Right.
I mean, if that is a thing, it could open up quite a few different elements to the game. I mean, I know personally from the first one of the good things about it was that you could upgrade the weapons. And me, being me, I like sniping, so I went for the bow and the panic rifle, like upgrading that and using the kind of different sort of bombs and
Right.
I feel like that makes the playstyle more realistic anyways, where you're using a bow where you can retrieve the arrows, You know, it seems more like, you know, conservative and like post-apocalyptic. You know, don't you think? Don't you think?
Especially that first, when that first trailer kind of gameplay dropped, what was it, back almost a year ago? I think it was the bit where you see Ellie and she's got a bow and she's fighting with those guys. I mean, that was amazing. When I first saw that, it was just like, oh my god, this is real. This is actually going to happen.
Yeah, speaking of them bows, man, that exploding arrow and that, I think it was the E3 trailer, I'm not sure, but that I want to play with that. I want to mess around with that exploding arrow, dude. That looks fun. That'd be really fun in factions, too.
Exploding arrow? That'd be so
Yeah.
nice. So nice.
Yeah, that'd be a fun.
There's so many
factions.
strategies you could use with that.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope you would be able to like upgrade to the explosive arrow. You wouldn't just get it standard, you know what I mean? Especially if it's in multiplayer.
Right.
Because that would start to get annoying, dude. That'd be so overused. Like, it'd have to be really expensive in multiplayer. A lot of parts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, buying the parts to craft that would be
Right.
expensive.
Something I could get behind is if you could actually do a kind of personalization sort of thing into some newer games. I mean, it might be a bit of a stretch because I know one of the only things that Last of Us did kind of have in the systems was that you could only craft certain like items.
Hmm.
Wait, say that again?
I was going on the lines of like making like certain adjustments to your weapons because there's a lot of the games that you can do that. I
Right.
know that later versions of the franchises actually go into like the weapons and customize them. Like that would be something cool, but I don't think that's something they're doing.
I think they're going to do a lot more this time around. Last time they didn't do a whole lot. I mean, you could put a scope on and then kind of upgrade the rate of fire, more clips, you know, the spread. But this time around, I think we're going to be able to do a lot more, man. There's no way they're just going to leave that crafting table that bland.
You can already see it already. There's like so many detail. And like, you can see that like Ellie's tattoos while you're doing all the work on the weapons and stuff. Like, her tattoos are dope, dude.
They put a lot of detail work in that crafting
That is sweet.
table. I know.
I hope there's some backstory on some of the stuff like we're just missing out. Like we didn't get to see it
something
all.
else I wanted to notice too. Did you notice in that last trailer that when Ellie, it was her crafting table and she was leaned against her crafting table, like maybe she was while crafting she got attacked by this enemy faction. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, like that did look pretty good.
Like how insane? Right? Would that be if you're sitting there crafting and then boom, next thing you know, you're not safe anywhere in this game. That was definitely her crafting table. Had all her tools on it. That was her table. And then all of a sudden, there's an enemy that's got her leaned up, pinned down against the table, and then looks like she grabs something off the table and like smashes him in the head with it.
Yeah, it's definitely more realistic, you know, to make you feel like you're not just reaching like a checkpoint and you're safe, you know what I mean? Like in most games they have these areas where it's kind of like this, like a safe zone. But like
yeah, there's a lot that I noticed in those in that new trailer they done. Like when the first shot, it was Ellie and Joel. Looks like they're coming out of Pittsburgh, and then the next shot when it's up closer, you can see that he's got the shotgun that he had from Billstown. So that kind of lets you know that may take place like right inside of Pittsburgh, maybe right after. I don't know if it'd be right after Billstown because they had the truck then. So I'm thinking this is sometime after Pittsburgh. So I'd like to see what that little flashback's about. That looked real interesting.
Hey, so
There was quite a few good flashbacks. I would actually go like I was saying in the last time we were speaking about Joel being older.
right.
Yeah, he looked. I don't wanna, can't want to say too much because of some of the spoilers I've seen, but he looked in some of the old spoilers. He looked younger, and then he looked older in the same scene. They played another scene out of that spoiler in that trailer, and he looked different. He looked older. It's like some of them spoilers were older. Or
Yeah, I
something. That's
showed
not
that
what
on
he
my
looked
trailer
like.
breakdown. Like,
Right, it's not
there's
what he looked
definitely like
in that.
there might have been like one or two jumps.
Yeah, I think there were some changes made after those leaks, or that was old footage or something, because he definitely looked older than in the leaks.
Well, the game hasn't even came out, and I already had to give it a 5-star rating, man. That's just how good it is.
I mean, that's crazy. I don't know how they rated it already without
I
playing it.
I have to be a Last of Us 2 shill.
I mean, I like the game too, but I'd also like an honest review, honest rating on it, if that's what you know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
don't know how that's got a 5-star rating. Played it.
Give it 5 stars right now when it's not even out. Just watch the trailer and just give it 5 stars. What if they're actually paying people, Naughty Dog, to actually like give ratings, just like
Sign me
boost up
up.
the game,
I want to get paid to do it. I'll rate it whatever you want me to. Just pay me.
right? And that's what
Might
they're
as
saying.
well.
It's like with all these like Last of Us YouTubers, like they need the game to do good, so they're gonna give it that 5-star rating regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
The
So
build
like
build hype for the game.
yeah, I mean,
I need to see their actual reaction to, like, their real reaction. Like, some of them were being truthful, like some of the news channels. We were talking about this earlier.
yeah, I know that not Death Stranding, but Days Gone had the ratings wasn't that great, and but when I played that game, man, I thought it was a great game. Like, so I'm not really
I heard about that. I hadn't played it for a while. I got put off it because of the rating.
right. I'm not gonna let right.
Great.
And I think Death Stranding had what the ratings wasn't too good on it, but I'm actually playing it now and I'm enjoying this game. So I'm not gonna let these ratings defer whether I buy something or not, man. If I think it's good, I'd already let it do it on Days Gone, and when I played it, I really enjoyed playing that game. That game was fun.
So these game reviewers don't have no tastes. They don't have any good reviewing.
Well, it's just your opinion, basically. I mean, it's not, it's just your opinion. And it's not like set just because somebody reviewed it. And, it's just it's basically your opinion. Their opinion, it wasn't great. I played Days Gone, and my opinion, it was good, So, regardless of what reviews, I'm playing The Last of Us 2, man. I waited freaking 7 years to play this game, dude. I'm playing the damn game.
Play that game.
I'm going to play it. Played a couple times.
I mean, what else is there to play right now other than, like,
Well, we got. I mean, right now, not too much, but we do have some good games coming up. We got that Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk. I mean, there's going to be.
Ooh, I want both of
games,
those.
definitely.
I want both of those
let's-
games.
Oh, I seen that they're putting Tony Hawk 1 and Tony Hawk 2 in
They
the
were
PlayStation
remastering
Store.
them. They were remastering them, I
Yeah.
think.
Right. So I'm definitely going
the last couple of years, remaster, remake.
to. Right.
You guys playing Resident Evil? Or did you
I used to.
We
wanna
have
play
a
this-
friend that's trying to get us into that right now, telling us we should go play Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 was actually really good.
Right. Because
Yeah,
there's
look, the
been
game looks
there's been
really
so
good.
many remakes too. There's been the Final Fantasy remake. There's been just like it's like Spyro, everything. Everything's a remake.
Like, hey, we're just gonna remaster everything on PlayStation, Xbox. Everything's gonna be doing that.
It's awesome. I mean, they're just selling us the same thing over and over with the updated graphics.
They put us back into, what was it, like the 1990s,
Yeah.
2000s, back to when PlayStation first was out. Like, we're not really getting anything new until recently.
Well, they don't want to break off the wheel. They want to just keep doing what works, you know? They don't. They want to stay with the IP. Yeah.
Pretty bad. I mean,
It's getting to that point where it's just no originality no more.
yeah, I definitely want to see something new.
I'm surprised we haven't seen that Jack and Daxter remake for Naughty Dog yet.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, no, I actually have a story. I think
That Mario Brothers
they
remake.
are actually going to be doing Jack and Dexter.
You really?
Just feeling, yeah, I have a good feeling that that's next. My money on it.
Right. You'll see it soon.
Yeah. You blink for a second and then it goes to you like, I told you, I told you.
Yeah. Vicarious Visions will come up with another remaster. It's cooking it up. That's good. Man. So we all agree we gotta buy The Last of Us 2, or the Naughty Dog staffers are gonna call us immature babies for not purchasing the game.
We're gonna be worse than the devil himself.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah, that's retarded.
Yeah.
I seen that. Like, are you serious, dude?
Oh my god, I didn't know whether to laugh, be respectful.
I'm laughing.
I was just confused.
That's ridiculous. The devil himself.
Who said that? Neil Druckmann?
No, a YouTuber.
Oh, okay, okay. I think I remember seeing that clip now.
Many stories about different things. I mean, first it was Star Wars, Schmuckle, and now it's like several other things. Like The Last of Us now is kind of like catching up with everything.
I mean, you know, you just got to make a decision if you want to play the game or not, man. Don't let nobody else make the decision for you.
Yeah, I think that it.
Not that big of a deal, man. To me, ain't none of this a big deal. The only big deal to me is when they keep delaying it. Release the game.
Yeah.
I don't care about all the drama.
I wish we'd see it right now. I mean, think about it if it came out May 29th.
Oh.
Why
so
couldn't
close.
it? Why couldn't it come out, man? There's no reason.
I know, I agree with you on that. Like, what's a month later? Not even a whole month. For May 29th, 2019.
Definitely staff related. Well, it's because they're.
I just thought it wasn't done. Maybe they were using the whole COVID thing as an excuse to not be able to get it out digitally or the hard copy. I just figured it wasn't done. So they're like, "Oh, this is the perfect opportunity."
And
for us to-"
they weren't treating their staff good either, and how like 75% of them left after Uncharted 4, so they had to have a new staff. I could really tell in Uncharted 4 that it was like, this doesn't live up to the old games. Like something was going on.
Like the graphics and detail was good, but like I couldn't get into that, man. I played the game, I was like bored by it.
Yeah, the story was boring to me. I mean, I was happy with the resolution, but like the whole story I could have skipped over, you know what I mean? Like you could have just showed me the ending title screen and I would have been fine with that, man. Like I'll chalk it up. I'll be honest, man.
I know, dude. Another thing, like every single player is a martial arts expert, amazing parkour. I mean, come on, just give me a regular dude that can fight, bro. Like,
It seemed like filler episode, man. Like the whole game was like a filler. She just gave me the ending, like Uncharted 3 or something.
but visuals and all that was there. Like that, it looked amazing. Just I couldn't get into the story, dude. That's a major thing for me is the story.
At least you could play Uncharted 4 multiplayer, bro. That won't let you down.
Yeah, no, I got a multiplayer.
What's your
Last
multiplayer?
Factions.
You don't
I'll
even
play
play
that.
that much no more.
You're crazy. I mean, I take a break from time to time, but that's it, bro. Like that's the only multiplayer game I play.
True Flight, we got to get you on Factions, man.
Yeah, that was something I was thinking of suggesting. I think it's actually play a few games. I think we were talking about it last time doing share play. Or just maybe asking what they would like to have us play. Just mess around.
Right. You've only
We were talking about last time.
you've only played Factions like once, right?
I believe I only played it a couple times, yeah.
Yeah. See, like Ende and I, we just put like probably hundreds of hours into Factions, like honestly. So you'll be playing with some vets.
Easily.
Good. Create a whole series showing you how to.
No, I have to do the Firefly challenge.
He's one challenge off.
I just don't like. I don't play the Firefly at all.
Quite a few hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Firefly challenge, that's a multiplayer thing. So really, he completed the whole story, like platinum, the road to success on the platinum. So like, because as games age, they get harder to get platinum if they have multiplayer elements to them, because sometimes the game modes or the lobbies or things like they don't exist anymore. So it's like you really got to get them in their prime.
Well, here's a problem that I dealt with too. Is like getting my trophies. I would run into some bugs like the all conversations. Like I've done all the conversations, but it wouldn't allow me to get the trophies. And then I was having the same thing with it's all just lying there. Like it took me forever. I had to keep going back to do it, and finally it let me get the trophy. Like so, I was having a hard time with the bugs on getting these trophies. So
Right.
I've actually had a fair few glitches on several different games, and one of them just happened to be Last of Us. I think that hoping going into this, I'm just hoping that some of the glitches aren't as bad as the ones that I've come across in the last coming weeks. I don't know
Oh,
if it's
yeah.
because everyone's at home, internet, or just the game. Like maybe it's
yeah, I hope it's not bugged out. I agree with. I hope it's not bugged out, man. I know I had a couple issues with Days Gone being bugged out a little bit, but that's super annoying when that happens. So yeah, I hope we don't have no issues with that. I can't wait to see what it looks like on the PS Pro, man. It's gonna look that good.
Talking about PlayStation, have you seen some of the stuff for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox?
No, I haven't seen a whole lot about that. What do you got?
I mean, I've seen little tidbits. It looks like they've improved the whole system, so it's more like movie-like. So the lighting and a lot of it, they went into depth about like kind of like shapes. They were saying there were a lot, millions and billions of triangles, like that.
What about loading time?
Yeah, I think they've been working on it so that it's a new system. It definitely looks amazing. Sound, they've been taking real sounds like into effect, like recording them and kind of like rocks falling and things like that.
Sweet.
A little trailer. You look it up. I think it was IGN. I kind of watched that.
I mean, they showed us the controller, right? Is that the official controller?
We didn't actually get to see a controller. We just saw a version of a game and like the lighting and stuff.
Are you talking about the PS5 controller? Because
Yeah.
I've seen that.
So,
I've seen it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like a
saying that's
pretty white
that's
controller.
definitely the official controller, right? That's not
Right.
some
No, like
man-made.
Sony released that. That's their official release on their site. That they have this
So,
dual color controller that's white and black. But majority, it kind of looks like a stormtrooper, honestly.
yeah, it does. I did notice that. It's like a little slimmer at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it might fit better in the hand this time around. And they optimized some of the things that worked last time and where it didn't work. They had this light bar on the controller that's like way too big on the PS4, completely unnecessary. So what they did on the new controller is they kind of just highlighted around like the play button or like the share button, so you don't have this giant like flashlight wasting all of the rechargeable
Right.
battery. Because that was a
But what do you
big problem. That was a big problem for me. There's no option to shut off the light bar on my PlayStation 4 controller.
Right.
So the battery on my PlayStation 4 controller is way shorter than my PlayStation 3 controller in comparison. Like my PS3 controller, I could charge that thing to a full charge. I could be having multiple 8-hour gaming sessions on it, multiplayer games, and not have to, worry about plugging it back in. It seems every time that I play on the PS4, I at least have to plug in my controller once, and
Exactly.
it gets to be a hassle because like I don't have a 12-foot cable. I have a relatively, the standard cord, which I have to like scoot up, get up, and like plug in. So I know some people can relate with that. It's just like it's unnecessary, especially when you could have an option to shut off a light bar that does nothing for you. Like
Right.
you can only dim it.
What do you think about the built-in mic on the new PlayStation 5 controller?
I think the concept is there. It makes sense, especially for people who don't have a mic, but on PlayStation 4 you come with a standard earbud with a mic piece, right? And I feel like that mic, if it's not implemented correctly, it is going to be very poorly received, because you're going to have the people that play music in the background and game lobbies and stuff, and it's always going to be picking that up. It's always going to be picking up background conversations. So if there's a way you activate the mic where it only works when you press in a button,
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
and
it's not going to just be on like the whole time.
right,
Like you got to be able to turn it
if
on and
like
off.
if you like hold it and then it's recording, like that would be the best way to do it.
Right. So are they getting rid of the share button? Or turning that into something else? Like I seen something about the share button.
They're turning the share button into something else, yeah, but it's pretty much going to be the same concept, where you're able to, live stream and like share your content, but it's not going to be called a share button anymore.
I'm hoping that the share, whole share thing is going to be better, because it's one of the main features that I really like about PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like definitely this console generation, it was a success, but we're gonna have to see going on to the next console generation, because I've seen on the the Xbox One recently had like a release on stuff, and people were quick to call it like a failure, because like some of the main titles like the new Assassin's Creed that was just recently announced, that said they're only going to be running on 30 frames per second, and it's just like, what is the reason at all? You're going to upgrade to a new console if you're not at least like 60 frames per second. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what's the benefactor of going to purchase a whole new console, which is pretty much like just at this point with the Xbox X series, it's going to be like a mini computer tower. Like, why are you going to do that when you could just buy a PC, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm kind of bummed out. They put one of my favorite games on the Xbox. It's not going to be on PlayStation 4, which is Hellblade. So I guess I'm gonna have to buy an Xbox to play Hellblade. I do not want to miss that game, man. I don't know if you guys played Hellblade, but that's a really good game.
It's an Xbox exclusive now?
It is now, yeah.
Wow.
That was the game that you mentioned last time, yeah. I was gonna look into it.
Yeah, you would like that game, dude. It's good. It's got if you're into like third person story games, then you'll really like it. It's simple, like the control is not a whole lot to it. The puzzles are kind of difficult, but other than that, man, it's a really good game.
Love a good puzzle.
And you'll like this game.
I grew up with puzzles and like software. That was one of my biggest like I love doing that sort of stuff because it's a challenge. So in itself, like I like kind of mazes and things like that. So you have to do challenging things and find what you need to do.
Well, the puzzles in Hellblade are pretty, or some of them can be pretty insane. Uh, but right, but they start out like easier. I mean, they start out just kind of showing you the concept of how they're going to be, and then they'll work their way into more difficult ones. Same concept, but just just difficult. But that's a great game, man.
True Flight, I see that you post kind of like a mixed bag of content. Did you start your channel like wanting to post like a specific game and then just like evolve into, more games? Like what was your goal when you started?
Originally, my focus would mainly focus on Final Fantasy games because that's like I know the most about Final Fantasy games. So I thought of those Kingdom Hearts, like Final Fantasy, and Disney kind of thing. That's it. But
Right.
I kind of got into a lot of the post-apocalyptic games and that sort of so I'm actually really glad that I got out of that stage because I can't stop playing zombie games.
Did you say
But
you did play Days Gone, or you haven't?
I have it and it's one of the next games I want to play.
If you're into the zombie games, dude, that's like the zombie. It's like Red Dead, but zombies.
Yeah. I mean, I've got majority of the games that I need to play, but had so much fun editing and playing the games that I sometimes forget how many I really do have.
Right.
I have about over 200 games.
Over 200? What do you have, like the 1 terabyte console?
I have a 2 terabyte, what is it, 2 terabyte? No, what? I think it's 1 terabyte console,
Whoa.
2 terabyte.
I am jealous because that's my problem. I only have about like 30 games, and I digitally download about all my games, and I have to pick and choose between what I want to save, what I want to delete when I want to get a new game. So like recently, for example, like I have Borderlands 3. I bought it, and like I had to delete a past like zombie game, World War Z, to get my new game. Like I don't like being in that predicament because at the same time, like I want both games on my digital shelf, you know what I mean? But since my hard drive isn't 1 terabyte, I can't store everything that I need to. So
Definitely one thing that I hope that they change, try and figure out a way of getting more.
why can't they have some type of iCloud where you have your games in the cloud? You know what I mean? You don't have to be worrying about storage. Like your PSN account holds all the games you purchased, and there you could just playing them on demand because they're purchased. You know what I mean? We're at that point where that's a possibility now. Am I right or am I wrong?
Isn't that similar to the PlayStation? What is it?
The Google Stadia?
Sorry, no, the Play Store.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're getting at. You're the that's like the monthly subscription.
Yeah, that one.
PS Play. PS Play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The compatibility, backwards compatibility. It's similar to the Xbox One.
Right. I wish they did have more of that on the PlayStation because there's so many games I want to go back and play, and I can't because of being on this new gen console, which is about to be old because it's about its time's due.
Yeah. So what are they talking about releasing the PS5
December 2020.
in December? Nice.
That's good. That's in a few months.
They
I
got a
I know.
price?
I mean, I'm hoping it's over 500. I mean, I know that the PlayStation 4 was quite a high price, so I think I heard rumors that it could be like 700 or more.
I mean, compared to the Xbox One at the time, PS3 was the more budget console, and it was better. Like, remember when Xbox One came out, it was $500 console, and you had to buy the Xbox One Connect that came along with it, which added like another $100 to it. And out the gate, PS3 came out. I mean, not PS3, PS4 came out, and it was I think it was, what was it, $3.99 instead of the $4.99 the Xbox One was. So you'd save $100. You weren't required to buy the PS4 like and like because everything back was like the Move games back in the day, the PS Move, where they were trying to like rip off the Wii. Like that was a big thing back in the day, and that kind of faded out over time.
Yeah, I mean, my internet is quite a lot earlier than
Yeah, I just felt like I was like children, man. The Wii just didn't. I didn't see one game on there that interests me.
Really?
Maybe Mario, if I had to choose, maybe like Mario Kart or something, but I don't know. I just didn't see anything
No,
on
more
there.
like the Wii U was the flop. Like the Wii did decent, but
yeah, the Wii U. I didn't even buy that one.
yeah, it was it's totally forgettable. That's what it just really is.
Right.
It's definitely like when they made the Switch.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I used to have a
they've been
Nintendo
known for so
Switch.
long for like handhold consoles, and then they try to make a handhold into like also TV, and it's just too many things going on at the same time. You got to be looking at two different screens, and it's just I feel like it was too much clutter.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to transition my channel more into you know the way True Flight's gone, where he started with one game and kind of branched off like a tree. Like that's definitely the goal. But right now, I just I've been preparing for this launch of this new title, and I know once the game comes out, I mean, there's just going to be so much opportunity and so much original content that's going to be able to be made off of that, and I'm really looking forward to it.
That's really good news. I have a lot of time to myself now, but as soon as the lockdown kind of finishes, I'll be going back to my regular uploads that I do before, which is about, say, roughly 5 uploads a week.
That's a lot of work you're putting in.
Not as much as some YouTubers, but I really want to kind of show what I can do.
Right.
And the more effort I put into it, the more I deserve that to pay. I've seen that happen recently. I uploaded an hour in the last week, and about 45 videos today.
That's a lot, man. Like, how long were the
Every time I
videos?
every time I see you, you're on Share Factory. When I see that you're online,
Yeah, I'm usually really, really busy, but I cleared my whole day today, so it should be quite nice.
Yeah, this is something we definitely need to continue on with because the consistency in uploads, this podcast medium where you're able to elaborate on thoughts that you can expand on and talk about and debate with multiple people, it gives people the, like the analysis that they're really looking for, where it's not cut down to like a 10-minute video where people are just trying to get the ad revenue off the 10 minutes. Like, it gives people the time to explain, talk over things. People can get new ideas, hear about new games that they're not like hearing from the mainstream. So that was always really the goal of this. It's something where once you get the ball rolling, the snowball, like it starts rolling down the mountain and becomes an avalanche. And that was really always the goal of, and like the tunnel vision of starting the podcast, because once you start out, with first episode in, you're not going to have a tremendous following, but by the end, hopefully when you're 200 in, you have backers and supporters, moderators in the chat. Like, that's where I know Ende and I were always looking forward to. I don't know about you, True Fight, but yeah, I've seen you had some great expansion in your channel. I mean, I was watching your 300 subscriber your video, and like, congrats on that, man. Jeez. Right. Right.
Yeah, I've been watching it, man. You've been grinding.
Yeah, you went from about what 270 to 325. Yeah, that's a big pop right there, man.
Yeah, I think when we first met, you had like 250, 260 or something.
Yeah, so that's some pretty incredible growth for. Really?
I've noticed a few channels grow over since the lockdown.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's definitely something underrated. Where you hear YouTubers talking like a lot about, oh, I love going through the comments and reading them and like responding to them, liking and subscribing. And I really never understood that until I started my own channel, and I was like, wow, yeah, like me making this original content and putting my take on it, and then someone putting their spin on it and like going to the comments and actually leaving something. It was just like, wow, someone cared enough to put something, whether it's mean-spirited or whether it's encouraging. It was just like, wow, it kind of it kind of seemed like my work was like almost paying off at first, you know what I mean?
Right. That's definitely cool whenever you have these little ideas, you put them together, whatever it is, and somebody comes and says they enjoyed it, man. That's why I like doing it. I like creating the videos and just uploading and get you something to do, man.
Right. Yeah. I totally agree with you, man. I think you have some great points, and definitely keep up the steam. Like, I wish I had the way to post like 5 times a week like you, because think about the YouTuber that only posts like once a week. You only have 52 videos a year that you can make where you can possibly have your big break. But if you're doing 5 a week, you definitely increase the odds of reaching a higher audience and more subscribers. And I could see that as far as you, and I've seen that in Day where he started at least 6 months earlier than me, and he's almost to his 1,000 subscriber mark, and he's getting close to the 4,000 watch hours that he needs to get monetized, and that's just like really big encouraging to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible as long as you put the work in. And I know for all of us, we're going to have great success with this new game. And it's just like, we got to tide ourselves over until it comes out, right?
Yeah, we just got to, there's going to be so much we can do with this. Trophy hunts, stealth tips. I'm a real big fan of Grounded, so I hope this Grounded they got on this new one's going to be sick. So I can't wait to get in here and figure out how to break this Grounded down and get some stealth pass going.
Oh, so kind of like the Hall of Meat, right? So you would really like the skate games where they have the Hall of Meat, where you see how many times you can just like smack your character into the ground, and like how brutal, and like how many bones you can break. That's something Ende and I was talking about, where they have this new game coming out, Skate XL. And isn't it just so funny that out of nowhere Activision decides to release remasters of Tony Hawk Proving Ground 1 and 2 when they say, oh, maybe we could make a little money really easily off this. Someone else is putting out a skate indie game. It's an indie developer. No,
yeah,
let's try.
Tony Hawk's like, my grip tape. Like,
yeah,
what I mean?
Exactly. They're like, let's hop on this bandwagon right now. Skate games are popular again while everyone's in quarantine. The skaters can't skate. They're going to be skating on their console.
I pulled up the last Tony Hawk 5 that just come out. Do you know that game is still like $59, dude?
Really?
Yeah.
That came out years ago by now.
I know. I was gonna buy it, but I don't want to pay $60 for it.
No. I mean,
I had it one time. It wasn't that.
I've watched my younger cousin play it. It's nothing to write home about, man.
I was thinking like $30, $20. I don't think it's worth $60.
It's not worth $60. It's that Activision greed, man.
It's like nothing. I don't know. I didn't like it as much as I did the other ones.
Right.
So I was like, how am I spending $60 on this?
Right.
So.
Wow. So many great ideas, man. I'm so excited to move forward. I think us starting at this time could be like our break, especially with this new console generation right around the corner. We have some great new releases that could tide us over till that new console generation. It's just like, we could be loading up on the rocket ship going out to outer space right here. That's my honest opinion on it. Like, we got Last of Us. I know for me, speaking for myself, that's going to tide me over to the PS5, and whatever the launch titles come with the PS5, they're going to have to be strong. So, I'm really excited, man. I feel like there's great opportunity out there on the horizon. Right. It's funny that you said just one game, right? Because we were talking about, like, what if we had this, like, series where it could either be on the podcast or it could be separate, where, like, once a month we have, like, a game of the month. It's like a sponsored game that we got to do a deep dive, like an analysis on, where we go, all right, we're going to choose this game, we're going to play through this game, we're going to beat this game, we're going to review it, we're going to give our take on it, we're going to see if there's multiplayer, we're going to play through that and just have a bunch of fun on it. And I feel like, all of our subscribers as a collective would, definitely benefit from our, review and our personal take on the game, because it's not going to be like artificial where someone's just giving a 5-star review on something that hasn't even came out yet. Like, and I feel like personally, as someone who loves video games, like, I definitely want to be, trying things new and getting out of my comfort zone, playing different games. Like, I've never played Final Fantasy personally, but I wanted to go back and play that Final Fantasy VII remaster because I feel like I might have missed out on something. So, like, that's just an example, something that, I feel like, my channel would, grow from, and, I might grow from, and, like, I might enjoy, and kill some time doing. So, like, I don't know if you guys are down for that, but that's kind of what I'm down for.
Yeah, something else I'd like to get into is like Netflix, like top Netflix shows.
Oh my God.
And series. Because,
Could
dude,
be
there's some hidden gems on there that people haven't even seen, dude. That I thought were some really good shows, man.
Are you gonna take off by being the new Tiger King reviewer, bro? Are you gonna find the hidden? Are you gonna find the hidden Tiger King on Netflix and break it to the public, and what they should watch?
Yeah, exactly. I think there's only one of them though. I mean, that show was crazy, dude.
It's only one Carol Baskin, bro.
Right.
That is insane, man. It really is. Well, I don't know about you boys, but I think we've had a successful podcast so far. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. True Flight, if you want to say anything, Ende, if you want to say anything, go right for it, man. But pretty much out.
Peace.
That's it? You're not going to plug your channel? That is correct.